Hey, so I'm finally back with another video after quite a while. So today's video is actually really exciting, but it's also being voiceovered a month after all the excitement happened. I was sent an email from Magicfly Art Supplies asking whether I wanted to try out some of their art materials. And this is the first time I've ever had collaboration with a company. So a big thank you to Magicfly Art Supplies for sending me these, and also a very big thank you to everyone who watches my videos, because I could have never had this opportunity without you guys. So I decided to try out the 30 acrylic paint set, as well as the 100 dual tip brush pen set. It's kind of funny because just a week or 2 weeks before they offered, I was looking for some cheap acrylic paints to buy because I just wanted some crafters quality acrylics to use in my sketchbook. So I was like really surprised to be sent some for free. I was also really glad they had some brush pens because I wanted something to use in my sketchbook that wouldn't leak. And I only have like 12 Tombow brush pens. So this first page here, I was just swatching out some colors. I swatch out a lot more than the colors I swatch out right here. I think I went through half the entire thing, or a little more than half, and not a single pen was dried up, so that was great. I did have to learn how to use these pens because I tried using them like alcohol markers at the start, thinking that they could blend and I could actually make an entire landscape with them. That didn't turn out good whatsoever. So I redid it with a much more pastel kind of color palette. One thing I will say about these is that the brush tip is really good, and I just needed to pick a better color scheme that didn't require any blending, and also like a subject matter that didn't require blending. This page is just a bunch of doodles though, because I had zero inspiration to do something a little more specific. I just had no idea what to draw, so I drew like just whatever came to mind. And it was really fun doodling with these pens because it's so much more convenient than bringing out all the watercolors. If I were to compare these markers to anything, I would honestly treat them as like Crayola markers or even like highlighters, but they come in so many different shades and the brush tip is actually pretty good. So if you're interested in getting some like Crayola type markers that don't bleed at all and have a brush tip and actually shade on top of each other pretty nicely, I would suggest these. So I had a lot of fun using these, especially with the Prismacolors that I bring out later on. And I'll definitely be reaching for them a little more often to use in my like sketchbook for quick doodles. But I will be changing them from the case they're currently in because the case that comes with it is really annoying, to be honest. Also, the fine liners are good, but they're just a little too thin for my liking. I end up just using them for some cross-hatching, and yeah. One more thing that I want to mention about these pens is that the colors are super vibrant, but they do dry very patchy. I personally don't mind because these are just water-based markers for my sketchbook and not everything has to look smooth. So for the acrylic paints, I got a set of 30 of them, and I'm honestly treating them as like dollar store acrylics, which they kind of are, but on the side it says it's like artist grade acrylics meant for like kids and students and like basically everyone. I don't really think so. I feel like they're really crafters grade. And I'm swatching them in this clip right here. And I found that they're actually really chalky. They reminded me almost of gouache from how chalky they were. I'm not complaining because I really love gouache anyways. Like I actually prefer the chalkiness to the like, I guess shiny acrylics. Like acrylics are usually a lot more shiny than gouache. Like they don't have that pastel chalk vibe. I keep saying chalk because that's the only way I know how to describe it. So if you're a student looking for student grade acrylics and you want the acrylic experience but just with the student grade quality paint, I would not recommend this set like at all. It didn't remind me of my student grade acrylic that I already have. Like I have Arteza acrylic paints and Liquitex. Yeah, Liquitex acrylic paints as well. And the feeling is way different. One thing I will say though is that the color selection is very nice. It really minimizes the amount of mixing I have to do for acrylics, and it's also really easy to like visualize a color scheme with all these like 30 colors. If I were to like name a main issue with these acrylics for me personally, it wouldn't be the chalkiness, it would be like the lack of opacity. Something that's nice about these paints is that on the side of each bottle, it actually gives like the pigment information as well as like the color name, the opacity, and what else? Light fastness. But the issue is I don't know whether to trust that information or not, mainly because like the white, for example, even though it's labeled as opaque, it didn't really feel opaque when I was trying to layer it on top of the blue sky. Like it took 3 very thick layers of white for it to like show very opaquely. I'm so bad at describing, but yeah, that's just a tiny issue. So because of that, I'm not sure if the light fast ratings are correct. Anyways, it's not super important for me because I'm honestly going to be using these paints for like filling in pages with solid color or quick, very, very quick studies and just having fun in my sketchbook. They're all just sketchbook supplies, and I knew that while I was getting them, and it explains why they're so cheap on Amazon. So I'm not too disappointed. In fact, like it actually kind of exceeded my expectations for these paints. I was worried that it would be some like Crayola poster paint kind of thing. I don't know if Crayola even sells poster paint, but no, it was definitely cool. It kind of reminded me of acrylic gouache, and I'll definitely be using these in my sketchbook for like what I mentioned before, just like filling pages, quickly blocking things in, some color scheme studies, stuff like that. Anyways, I've been rambling about these supplies for like 30 minutes now. I'm probably gonna condense it a lot, but if you're interested in checking these out, I have the links to both products in the description of this video. It's not an affiliate link, but if you're interested in checking it out, you can press the link. Oh my god, I'm so bad at this. But yeah, links in the description, and I'll see you in my next video. My next video is probably gonna come out late November, maybe even December if things get hectic. It's also probably going to be a Q&A video, so if you'd like to participate in the Q&A, I'll be putting a community post really soon. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I didn't really talk a lot about what I actually painted because I'm still kind of confused as to what I just painted. But I hope you enjoyed it anyways, and I'll see you in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks for the next video, hopefully. Bye!